Oh, you like Gex? Then let's talk Gex. He's gonna be weirder than Halloween with Heidi Klum. Mascot platformers were everything in the 90s, and seemingly every studio tackling the genre was out to make the next Mario or Sonic. Back in the day, Crystal Dynamics was one such studio looking to create a platformer for the powerful but commercially floundering 3DO platform. Fun fact, they were actually spun off from the 3DO company, which created the format that hardware makers then licensed. It was messy. They sought to create something iconic, memorable, truly groundbreaking. We got Gex. As platformers go, it's a very standard affair. Gex jumps, whacks things with his tail, and bounces on it like a ground pound to defeat enemies or open up new pathways. Since Gex is a gecko, he can cling to walls, ceilings, and even backgrounds on occasion, all of which adds density to stages and emphasizes exploration. Various power-ups also give him boosts like projectiles, invincibility, and lots more speed. Aside from traversal, there's nothing super innovative here, but what's included works well enough. Control is reasonably responsive and power-ups are fairly fun to wield, though movement can be a little stiff and maneuvering around on walls is often clumsy. Level design incorporates all of these mechanics in the expected ways. Underwater stages, auto-scrollers, door mazes, bottomless pits to spike the difficulty, you get the idea. It's all standard platformer stuff and it's functional enough, but it doesn't grip you in the same way that its other, more successful contemporaries do. The mechanics and level designs lack that extra something that would make things more replayable. Though there's no real standout features beyond sticking to surfaces, there's also no glaring problems, with the most notable point of contention probably the camera. It tends to snap to a position ahead of Gex, and this results in a rather lurchy-feeling viewpoint that can be disorienting. Aside from some decent boss fights and bonus levels, there's a little more than 20 regular stages in the game. Oddly though, about a third of them are hidden away in a bonus world that's not all that easy to unlock. All of these stages and the worlds they're set in are presented as TV channels in the media dimension that Gex gets sucked into in the opening. This mostly manifests as static breaking through the environment and remotes being used to unlock different levels/channels, and that's a fun premise. Environments are generic and unexciting though. A cemetery, a wacky cartoon, a jungle, a kung fu dojo, a Running Man-esque dystopian city. Sub-Zero's about to be plain zero up in here. Pick me, Mr. Dawson! Gex's pre-rendered model is big and detailed with some nice animation, and many enemies are decently expressive, but again, it's a lot of by-the-numbers stuff. The soundtrack is very middle-of-the-road as well. There's a couple of highlights like the title track and the kung fu level theme, but everything else doesn't make much of an impression. The presentation as a whole is a step down from the original 3DO release too. Colors are seemingly a little less vibrant, music is less crisp, and some graphical effects are missing from, among other places, the title screen and stage transitions. It's not super noticeable unless you have them side by side like this, but the difference is there. Removing the original save system in favor of passwords on a console with memory card-based saving, no less, is an aggravating downgrade as well. The more you play through, the more Gex asserts an almost abrasive game feel. The drippy spray paint logo, the harsh instrument choices, the sterile hub worlds, it all just feels a little, off. It's irreverent to the point of getting lowbrow, too. Gex vomits on you after finishing a level, boss mechanics lean on puking and farting, it's honestly kinda gross. This is not a classy affair, though that's not inherently a bad thing, and in fairness, it never sells itself as anything else. The game firmly sets its tone with its very first sentence.
It all started so simply. I had just finished my usual morning routine of nude funkercise.
And from that sentence on, Gex is not shutting up. Brought to life by comedian and future Simpsons writer Dana Gould, Gex and his voice acting is either the highlight of the experience or the worst part of it, depending on who you ask. We would say it's the former. Many of the quips are genuinely funny, and it can be entertaining to have this snarky running commentary on offer, but the chatter is constant and gets repetitive quickly.
I love a parade. Snap, crackle, and I love a parade.
Most so when returning to the hub worlds, where Gex will say the same one or two lines over and over and over again.
Please, Scoob, let's get back to the mystery man.
You can turn his voice off, but then the game loses what little personality it does have, so damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sophie had more appealing choices than this.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So that's Gex, more or less. This was kind of a marquee title on the 3DO, to the point where it was a pack-in game for a while, but it didn't fare as well when compared to the libraries of the competitive systems it was ported to. It's not a bad game by any means, but its divisive creative choices don't always pay off, and it's kind of just fine. future titles in this series would take the gecko in more unique, interesting, and memorable directions, and yes, remind us all not to drink tap water at Jerry Garcia's. So when you put it all together, Gex on the PS1 gets 2.5 Gloobies out of 5. The original 3DO version is a little bit better, and this port in particular is improved as part of the Gex trilogy, but it's not quite fun enough to seek out on its own unless you really loved it growing up. Get some tail at your own risk. Thanks so much for watching. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We'll catch you back here real soon.